Look me up on Google, search the classics, you crazy bass. Hold me up and pull me down. It's a battle royale in the eye of the storm. Drowning in the shallows when the path is getting narrow. I'ma ride it out on this broken arrow. Fuck it. Hold me up.
Come on. Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Idiots. Of course, Wes is talking about his terrible bears prior to this our episode getting started, and I had to have a good laugh. Hi, Wes. How are you doing today? I wasn't ready for that. I'm sorry. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, that was my fault. Everyone, what's up? Welcome to Unfiltered Idiots podcast. My name's Wes, aka Metro. Here with my boy Kenny.
Yeah.
That was my fault. Right before we started, I went like this and pointed just to have some fun. My team is a train wreck this year.
Yeah,
and it's very noticeable. The comment I made to kind of get right into the show was that that MAGA currently is like the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL. Like that's what made Kenny laugh as well too.
I giggled.
And that's what we're going to talk to you guys about today, guys. Is that I know we talked about this a little bit on the last pod, but holy shit, who would have thought that this feud was going to get larger and larger?
It's getting juicy. It's getting
juicy.
My
God, it's like, and it's just, guys, this is why we said, why we said what we said. Right? It's bittersweet, guys. And like, even though we're, talking shit, we're having fun, but in the really grand scheme of things, we truly, I could tell you from our own private text, like we're liking this in one regard, but we also realize this is helping the wealthy. Like, in other words, this whole nonsense where people are not understanding what's happening is like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the exact same person. Like, they're billionaires who don't give a shit about you guys, girls, everybody in the working class. And now that he doesn't need your vote any longer, he's like, deuces, bitch. I'm going to show you guys who I've been the whole time.
Well, I mean, it's just interesting to me that this isn't the second time, right? So like this happened in the first election. Fool me once, fool me twice, right? You think that we never go down this road again, and here we are. And I think I talked about it in another podcast of ours that there was this lady, and I think I shared it to the Unfiltered Idiots IG, but she was like, the gas prices haven't gone down. The eggs are still, sky high. Why did we elect it? It's like, lady, he's not even in office yet. And you guys, it's just so funny that these people have the ability to vote, right? Like,
yeah.
But the thing is, though, my point being is on day one, eggs are still going to be the same price. Mortgages will be the same price. I know that he told you guys that he's going to fix this on day one, but it's just another realm of people believing BS, and thinking that he's going to enrich their lives when that's not really true, right? It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the billionaires getting their money. It's going to be these two jackholes running the most essential parts of our government. It's pretty damn scary, but MAGA's fighting, guys. MAGA is fighting, and it's freaking hilarious. I don't know if I want to scream, if I want to cry, if I want to laugh, but it's funny.
Or all the above.
All the above.
Like I said, guys, the thing that that we wish was, the outcome was that everybody in the working class would have bonded together and said, hey, let's elect the person or the people. And that's what we're trying to convince you guys of now is vote for people who are not born rich. And I mean rich. I'm not talking about, oh, my mom gave me a couple $100,000 to get a house. Again, I grew up poor. So to me, that would be amazing if somebody did that for me. But, we're talking about people who are like, hey, my mom and dad, gave me 50 plus million to 150 plus million, billions of dollars. Like that kind of money and that kind of wealth is just so astronomical to 99% of people, whatever it might be, 97% of people in this country. And when you elect those people, or people like we say who take money from those folks, you just cannot be honest with yourself and believe that they're going to do something to drastically help people like Kenny and I and many of you folks out there. Like I said, 95 to 96% of you out there, they're not going to change this system that's made them and their family for generations filthy rich to slowly give you guys, us working class folks, wages that would redistribute that wealth, thus making them less wealthy and us more wealthy. They're just not going to do that because they have like an epiphany or they want to be good. They're just
Well, they
not. Like
didn't.
we're going to
Well,
have to take it from them.
they didn't do it last time, right?
Yeah, they're never going to do
They said that
it.
they would do it last time, and
Yeah.
but the big thing about that is they said, "Oh, we couldn't do it because of COVID. Like COVID got in the way, and
Yeah.
we weren't able to focus on making everyone's lives better because of COVID." So
And it's weird, guys. What year did COVID happen? What, like, for the United States? It really hit us what, springtime of 2020,
yeah,
right?
so it happened.
And
So yeah,
and I would,
let's not forget that Trump knew about it in 2019, the end of 2019, but didn't tell us.
yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. Let's say that it started to affect the world, which I would totally agree with this. And this is, we all are on a world economy, whether you guys like it or not. You guys can try to say, "Oh, it's globalism." Dude, look at all the shit in your home. It's made in Taiwan and Afghanistan and China and Mexico. And so, knock the dumb shit off. Start being intellectual thinkers and realize we are a global community in many retrospects. Are there certain things that each country does? Da, da, da? Sure. But for the most part, we are a global community. So let's just say somewhere around fall of 2019. Okay, when was Donald Trump elected? Kenny, do you know?
Donald Trump was elected in 2016.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's weird. It's almost like from the time he was elected to the time where COVID hit, it was 3 fucking years, dude. So you know what he did do though, real quick, in 2017 when he got inaugurated on in January? Boy, did they not get those tax cuts that the top 1% benefited 83% of that
Yeah.
tax cut. Boy, did they get that in real quick.
Well,
Boy, did they make sure that got done.
I think that you make a great point, right? There were years before he even took office before COVID hit, right?
Yeah,
So like what
3, almost his whole term. Like, dude, guys, he was not going to do anything different. And those of you who don't understand supply and demand, just simple economics, I don't give a shit if Kermit the Frog was elected in 2020. Okay, the gas prices and food prices, the car prices, the all this other crap was going to be a problem regardless, and almost the same rates.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what was the biggest reason? That's not the point of this podcast today, guys. I mean, a little bit, but like, is we should have been regulating what these people can gouge us at, and we've done podcasts about that. We'll do
Right.
another one about that. But right, like,
Right.
right, what in the moment we talk about regulation, everyone goes, "Oh, socialism, socialism." Okay, what do you want? Do you want to pay like $9 a fucking gallon for gas, or regulate the gas and oil and gas community and say, hey, you guys can only charge this much over your percentage of what we believe it costs to bring it to the pump.
Right.
Like you're gonna get a this much percentage, 30% for whatever it is. They're probably charging like I bet you it's somewhere around 300+% of what it really costs them to
Yeah.
get. I'm talking from the CEO all the way down to the truck driver to deliver that gas. I'm talking net value. I bet you per gallon of gas, they are probably making somewhere around 300+%
Yeah.
on eggs, on all the other shit. We caught them. We caught them charging 120, 134% of inflation. It's like, dude, like we should have regulated them, especially with food and the things we need. If they want to try to jack up the price of like some Air Jordans, okay, cool, dude. Good, I don't give a shit. But when we want to regulate the stuff that we all use, electric, water, gas, eggs, like food in general, right? That's some shit we should have probably regulated. And when
Yeah,
like
but here's the thing though. Here's the thing to like what you just said though. We would have been called
socialism,
capitalist or
yeah,
whatever. Like
social
not
communist, you're
socialist,
communist, yeah,
socialism or whatever. Like I feel like it's like, okay, guys, Like pick a struggle at this point. Like what are you gonna what stick to something and lean into that. But if we're trying to come up with different ways in which we can make the situation better, and it's the best way of doing that, then don't get
Yeah,
pissed off like when we bring solutions to you and you shoot them down. Every solution that is brought to the table, there's like some weird Marjorie Taylor Greene in the background stating that, oh, this and that and that and this. Okay, so like you tell me what we can
yes,
do to help this, and then we can come together and maybe try to make this work. But you're not even bringing solutions to the table, which is crazy. You want to
exactly.
you want to sit here and have bogus hearings, showing the president's son's dong. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's ridiculous. Like pick a struggle. Okay, let bring something to the table and let's try to talk about this like human beings, like adults. But they can't even do that, right? Like it's every single time the Democrats or whatever the middle bring some sort of solution to the table, it's blown into this thing like we're trying to put it to the man. When that's not the truth. Like we're trying to make your groceries cheaper. We're trying to make your gas cheaper, but
Yeah.
you're hit with every single sort of roadblock. And there was a guy on CNN. I wish I would have grabbed his name. He's a Democrat, and he's like, at some point in Donald Trump's term, we got to stop getting in his way. I mean, he's the president. Yes, we don't agree with him, but at some point, we have to put our political differences aside and run this damn country. Because for about 8 years, or even longer than that, we'll even go into Obama's term. Like there's these stopgaps. There's these things in which normal people are suffering because they can't in Washington get along because they're on two different parties. Like at the end of the day, I urge Democrats to get together and try to work with this man, right? And try to pass some bills that'll help people that are fucking in need. Excuse my French. I know this is a family show, but I'm passionate about this. At the end of the day, we have to stop sitting back and putting these roadblocks in front of these people that are trying to move legislative things. It just, I want the Democrats to be a bigger person, but at the end of the day, like, yes, we have to play hardball, but it's too much. We've gone too long without anything being done in anywhere. Like, I want to see Donald Trump like put up or shut up. Like, okay, all right, we agree with you. Now let's move it along. And then he'll be like, oh well, because the MAGA cult's like, why are you working with the Democrats? Like, okay, so like, what do you want? Right? Like, what the hell do you want? So I want to see it. I want to see the Democrats, just loosen the reins a little bit, try to work with them, and then see what MAGA does. That's all.
Yeah, and I think to that point is like, this is what we're trying to explain to you guys is that if Trump came out tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want to nationalize the gas industry. I want to get rid of Medicare, like the health insurance companies, all insurance companies, and I wanted to like have Medicare for all."
Yeah, that's
But
not
I mean,
gonna
like,
happen.
I did, but I mean, if he did, I would be like, "Yo, dude, hell yeah, let's go." I would
Yeah,
be posting on it nonstop.
yeah.
Trump, if you do this, I would. If you had the chance to get a second election, which again you wouldn't, that's how much I care about that stuff. That if he came out and did all the things that would really help the working class people, a percentage based, market based, minimum wage, right? So a percentage based wage based upon the market and where that job is at would really help with like they could have just jack up prices, right? That you'd have to get those wages up to where like the cost of living is. If he did stuff like that, and let's pretend this was Trump's first term, I would straight up 100% without a doubt be like, "Oh, dude, I'll vote for you next term."
Yeah.
That's how much I care about these things, guys. But I just know he's never going to do that. I know that that's like asking like Elon Musk to not be a complete cuck and actually do something good for the world. No, he wants to like get welfare for the wealthy, and he wants us to pay taxes on him and all of his rich friends
Well,
to get shot to fucking space
the
in the
thing
little
is
space
though is like
rockets.
the thing though with Elon is it's not like he worked hard to get any where he's at, right? Like he bought Tesla, right? That wasn't
Yep.
his company. He bought SpaceX. He bought X. Like he bought all of these things because he has the money to do so. It's not because he was in his basement or in his garage coming up with great ideas to do these things. These were companies that were already established. These are companies
Yep.
that needed an injection of money, and he had that, and that's
Yep.
where he is today. So for
It's
Elon to come on and tell me that he's trying to better the world and he's trying to do all of these things, like I
yeah.
can't co-sign it. I'm sorry. And I know that there's a lot of, even my friends, there's a lot of Elon fans out there, because he talks a great game. But if you peel back the onion, like how did he get there? He didn't get there because he started these organizations, right? He
Yeah.
got there and he's where he's at today because of the wealth that he has. And you're gonna sit here and tell me that, Nancy down the street, you know, idolizes Elon Musk because of his hard work. And I'm like, Nancy, like, what hard work? Like,
Yeah.
it's money. And you've talked about Trump and how he got his money from his dad and all of these Kickstarter funds that they received, right? Like, I've never received $50 million. Wes, have you received $50 million? Probably
No,
not,
not at
right?
all.
Like,
And if you were to ask, if you guys were to ask that same neighbor, and again, we're just using random names, Nancy, Bob, Jamal, Jim, Gene, blah, 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 who like think Trump did, or Elon Musk, sorry, but say Elon Musk, and then you ask him, I bet you they'll say the same thing about Donald Trump. Well, then make sure you ask him right after that. Oh, so you guys think that like Paris Hilton worked her ass off to get all her to be the the little heir child to Hilton hotels? Do you think the Walton kids worked their asses off to become the five kids that own Walmart? And they're probably like, well, no. I mean, the thing is, and the reality is like, hey, dumbasses, that's the exact same thing.
now,
Trump got his grandpa built this business, who then his daddy inherited it.
right,
And then his daddy said, here you go, little baby Trump boy, little
right,
Donnie boy. Here you go, son. Here's $412 million in assets.
right.
412
And
million
and, and
in
if
the 80s, bro.
if anyone has ever read The Art of the Deal like I have, that Trump touts very strongly,
That he
he
didn't
was
write.
he was not supposed to be the one that got that money, right? It was
No.
his brother, but his brother ended up being someone that was kind of an, black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
And Trump just, happened to be in line for that. And it was like the absolute wrong person if you think about it, like to this day. But his dad never really wanted to give him that money, but he did. He got the money, and he, put
Yeah.
together several businesses, failing businesses. I mean, and he's been lucky along the way. And one thing that I won't ever take away from Trump is he is a smart gangster, right? Like Trump is a gangster. No one can ever tell me Trump is not a gangster. That fool's a gangster. Like he is probably the most prolific gangster, that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, right? Because he's the one that's able to get the money. He's able to swindle people, even in his election. I mean, he was coming out with, he's the grifting king, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm never gonna knock Trump's hustle, or I'll never say that he's not a gangster, because he is, but he just so happens to, appeal to 70, 80, 90 million people, and they vote for a person that doesn't give a shit about them, and that's all I care about, and that's what I struggle with every single day. I struggle with that
Yep.
because he's
And
just
guys, and this is
swindling
why
you.
we pulled up this article, because we want to show
Yeah,
you that like Elon Musk is Trump. Trump is Elon Musk. Trump is not a working class person who worked his way through community college and then transferred over to like a really good university, and then that's not what happened. He's exactly like Elon. In fact, I would make the argument that Elon's done more with quite a bit less money
yeah,
than Trump did. I mean,
right,
Trump got like in the 80s a $500 million.
right,
Now, yes, Elon got I think close about 50 mil from through his family and friends, and that's not nothing to cough at. But like Trump literally inherited what today would be $3 billion in assets. I
yeah,
mean, like again, that's Paris Hilton shit. That's like you didn't do shit. You literally had all of these hotels or you know um commercial bill, literally like it's exactly like the Hilton. I
yeah.
mean, this is Trump
Well,
hotels and just,
so
you know,
so
yeah,
MAGA is not on board with Elon. right? Like MAGA is not really feeling it in that. And I know, Steve Bannon is going to be really prominent over the next 4 years. He's going to be vocal because he's done his stint in prison or whatever jail. But the article that I have up right now says Steve Bannon says there's no MAGA civil war because Elon is not tough enough. So
which is hilarious.
it's just funny to me that they're already at each other's throats. I know that these MAGA folks only want Trump to be running the White House because Elon is quote unquote, he's a foreigner, right? Like
Yep.
he's not one of them. And for him to have such the ability to have Trump's ear is driving them crazy. And I love
And
watching
if
it.
you go through this article and see, so if you read like just some of these, like some of the things that are being said, dude, if you want to read that, like just like some of the stuff that's being said is just too funny, dude.
Yeah, so we'll have this linked in our episode, but I had the ability to kind of I had the ability to kind of go through it. And that's Laura, right?
Yeah, Laura Loomer.
Yeah, so Laura was Trump's best friend, right? Like they were buddies, they were
She was bragging that she gave him head, and that's what got her kicked off the plane.
you know what I mean? She
Yeah.
probably ew, God. I mean, she did probably, but
And
she's
guys,
all
just so you know about Laura Loomer, this is the best she's ever looked. Bro, she's got so much work done since she
you
posted.
know,
So she got famous from tying herself to training herself to. Actually, I think it was the Twitter or was it Amazon? It was one of those ones. Um, but if you look in here, she's like She's like, says she's a self-described Islamophobe. She's like a white nationalist. I mean, this is a girl who is just a complete train wreck, and it's
yeah,
just
a
funny.
proud
Again, it is what it is.
Islamophobe. I've never even heard that before. Proud Islamophobe.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
there a lot of them are that.
wow.
Because again, guys, they just look at stuff and say, "Oh, well, I go to this one, channel, this one network, and by all means, I'll say the same thing to some Democrats, right? Like, and these billionaires tell me how to think, and it's like, well, dude, if you went to like, I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East, and again, not saying that these are like awesome countries, this and that. I'm just saying, and ask the people. I think that's the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
and ask the people in these countries who they view as being the evil ones and the wrong ones and all that. You're gonna find out that like we tend to be very like want to use the right term here. Like, I mean, what right? You heard like American exceptionalism, all that kind of stuff, but we tend to really assume that like we as America have never done anything wrong, and that we're just these like just oh, everything we've ever done is just helping little old ladies across the street and making sure like a little kid has a book to read and an apple. And I mean that's just like it's just not true. We
Right.
go around the world. It's happening right now at this exact moment. It's happening. I mean, we are in every fucking conflict known to man. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking like in Niger. Like, I mean, dude, you name it, we are involved in it. Helping overthrow coup. And again, like, so is
So you bring up
France.
you
And
bring up a great point, right? So I think that after we got out of the Afghan war, we thought we were going to lay low a little bit. And I think that I've talked a little bit about this on a previous podcast that I'm kind of really sick of being the world police. Like, Biden pissed me off this morning. Sent another $3.2 billion over to Ukraine. I have a lot to say about that. Like, I understand why the money's going over there. I get it. Please don't take that as me saying that I don't understand why the money's going there, but you know, I don't know. It's billions and billions of dollars that I feel like could have been spent at home, but I understand, right? Like, so I have an internal conflict with that. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think that at some point, someone's going to have to put Putin in his place. And I don't know if that's going to be the smartest thing to do. So, you know, how many
Yeah.
billions of dollars, and what's going to happen to Ukraine in, I don't know, 20 something days, 20, little over 20 days. Um, once Trump gets into the office, when that money's not going to go to Ukraine. So are we going to be a party to an entire country that is just blown off the face of the earth? Or are we going to continue to help these people that need assistance? So I
Well,
what I'm trying to say is I don't understand.
yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know what to do.
Well, and here's the thing too, guys, is keep this in mind, and I can tell you what's about to happen. Trump is going to help fund light brown people in Israel, wipe out darker brown people in Gaza and the West Bank, and completely genocide people who do not have an actual country where they have tanks and jets and everything to defend themselves. You want to talk about like a legitimate genocide it's already happening. It's been happening in Gaza for over a year.
Mhm.
Um, that's exactly what Trump's going to help fund. He's going to make it seem like, hey, we're just randomly picking these good guys who have a democracy, but not these other good guys. Well, why is that? Well, because Trump is in bed with Russians, and people can be like, oh, you guys have said Russia. Dude, Trump and Russia and the Russian oligarchs are paying off YouTube people here to say Russia propaganda. They're involved in everything, and by all means, I'm not saying that there's not people trying to help the Democrat. I'm just explaining, guys, where the bread is being buttered. Okay,
Right.
like Russia and Trump are linked together. So if Trump just kind of backs off the military help, right, like sending weapons, aid, all that kind of stuff to Ukraine, and oh, shocker, Russia takes off the chip of Ukraine that they want to take off. Why? Why do they want that section? People are like, oh, I think it's because it used to be part of this. The whole thing used to be part of the Soviet Union, dog. They
Right.
want that Scotia, that land, because that's a direct line to the sea, which they can then take oil and gas from Russia and take it right to the European continent. And guess what? That's money. And who
Well,
do you think is going to get a kickback from that? Donald Trump.
right. The thing is too is once they take that little click of land, they're not gonna stop there.
I
Um,
mean, even if they did, like they want that for a reasoning. It's like saying like I said, we'll just switch to Venezuela. Okay, if we got to go pick and choose what parts of Venezuela we want, let's just say for a hypothetical, guys, the U.S. said the Venezuela said, you know what, guys, we need money. You can come down here and pick the area of Venezuela that you want.
mhm.
I'll tell you right now, our United States government is not going to pick like the beautiful shorelines or certain areas. They're going to go, all right, where's the oil at? That's the area we want. Like,
Right.
and that's exactly what Ukraine's doing. They're like, they didn't attack the northwest side. They attacked the southeast side because they want a direct pipeline that they want to literally be able. Because currently, right now, they're having to go around all of these places to get to Europe. You know how much gas, like guys. So we'll use the same example. Imagine if like Colorado, where we're at, there's a giant oil reserve right here. We want to sell to Mexico, but all the states below us and all through the whole half of our country is pretend is another place, another countries, right? And they go, no, fuck you. Take your trucks all the way out to California, come down the ocean and get down to Mexico that way. That is gas, time, labor, all that we don't want to pay. And if we can just topple over Arizona, boom, we're right in, or New Mexico or whatever, bam, we're right into Mexico. And
Right.
like we'll say, oh, well, like here's the thing is, dude, it used to be part of the United States. No, dude, that's not why they're doing it. It's not because they just want the land, because there's like, you know what? There's some like holy places there, some bullshit like that. They
Right.
want it because they want a direct trucking line and then a barge line that will go right to the Europe. I mean, this is why Germany's got not getting involved. Germany signed a huge contract with Russia to get oil and gas from Russia. So Germany's just back there going like, yeah, boy, would it be nice? Because guess who's going to save money there?
Right.
Germany. So
Right.
if Germany does, because right now, again, guys, think of the same example. If I'm trying to get money from Kenny's in Colorado, I'm in Mexico. I'm trying to get oil, excuse me. And Kenny goes, hey, Wes, I'm sorry, dude. It cost me X to take trucks out to California, down through barges to get down to Mexico. And he goes, dude, if you could just somehow make this line here, guess what would happen? I'm gonna get. It's gonna cost me less money per barrel of oil, right? Per gallon, you know, all this stuff of gas.
And Kenny
So of
Putin
course,
is like, let's
yeah,
do it. Let's start. That
yeah,
was part of our country back
exactly.
in.
And so if I'm the president of Mexico, I could just sit back and be like watching Kenny, the president of Colorado, attack, you know, New Mexico, who has almost no shot of winning, let's just say, right? And if I could sit there and go like, yeah, dude, you know what? I'm just gonna stay out of it. And then meanwhile, my very powerful Kenny's very powerful ally in Canada says, you know what we'll do, dude? We'll help you, like, we'll help you attack, you know, New Mexico.
Right.
Like, of course, like that's going to benefit all the people that are involved in that gas and oil trucking line, which
Right.
again will be Donald Trump because he wants. This is a quid pro quo, guys. He wants a piece of that.
Yeah.
100%. He'll
Yeah.
go, I'll let you take over Ukraine or parts of Ukraine. And in the back end, guess who else is going to want to get a deal on oil and gas from Russia? And then Trump will come out and go, listen, guys, it's good business. Putin is giving us a great deal on per barrel of oil. And these MAGA people are like, oh, yeah, dude, cool. That sounds like a great idea. It's like, bro, if I said let's buy like oil and gas from like El Chapo through Mexico because we're going to get a great deal on it, they'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? You're helping funding like a major drug cartel. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean, we can continue to get deep into this, guys. Maybe
yeah,
we'll even bring this up on tomorrow's episode, but we got to wrap this one up.
yeah.
Take a deep listen on this one. Again, go ahead and share, like, subscribe to all of our YouTube channels, our Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. Unfiltered Idiots podcast. We love chatting with you guys, chit-chatting with you, as we used to say back in the day.
Cat shit.
Chat chit. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit us up. Come on the show. And we will talk to you tomorrow, guys. We really appreciate this conversation. Lots going on. Wes, you got any final words for the
No, man,
out
just
there, the audience?
no. Just want to tell you guys thank you for tuning in. Please share, like Kenny said, it's really important to get this information out to folks. And, you know, make sure, like we tell you all the time, have your moral compass go all the way from left to right, right to left, top to bottom, and make sure you're addressing everybody the exact same way. You know, don't just worry about what shirt they got on, Republican, Democrat, no, right? Like analyze these people from top to bottom, left to right, front to back, all that shit the same way, and come to real, honest conclusions, guys, so we could try to bring this country together and really help the 95% so that the top 5% don't just continue to just leave us behind while we're out here, you know, fighting in the streets.
Yep, I agree.
All right, man. Much
All
love.
right, so y'all take care.
Peace.